Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So I'm Ian and this is what my coffee setup is like at home. So I'm mainly an espresso guy, so I have a Bianca V2 and a DF64 grinder. So the Bianca is the slightly older model, is the V2. I understand the V3 has slight changes to the needle valve and some other computerized stuff inside that I think they have upgraded so it warms up faster. Yeah, but I'm really satisfied with this. No issues for the past few years. And the DF64 that I'm having, I've changed it to the SSP HU burst, so espresso based. And yeah, that's what I've been using. So let me take you on a tour of the stuff that I have and let's make a coffee. This is a Time More Black Mirror. So this is one of the cheaper scales that you can have. So far so good, it's been calibrated so I don't have any issues with it. So what we're making today is Ethiopia. So this one was roasted that day at the Nescafe event where they actually launched the new roaster. So I think I'll get the video up soon. Yeah, it's basically a machine that you can buy for your cafe to roast the beans. They supply the beans about a little bit yellow brown. Then after that you finish up the roasting at locally in your shop. Okay, so the roast is a bit dark. It's a bit of oil coming out already, so personally I feel it's a bit dark for espresso. Okay, so this is the bottomless portafilter that I'm using. This is the one that came in the machine. And on this I am using VST 18 grams. Decent funnel, best thing ever. Yep, and let's go. So I like to use the bellows just before it's done grinding so that it doesn't regrind the coffee. So I generally don't have a static issue with this, even though I'm using the V1. So I didn't mod the clump crusher, but it looks fine. Looks good and fluffy. Okay, so I have made my own WDT tool. So interestingly, do you know what this is? These are nickel titanium orthodontic wires. Yeah, so the interesting thing is that if you bend them, they come back because they are nickel titanium. So you would never have the issue of bendy needles. So I think this is a very thin wire, 0.25 millimeter I think, or less. I'm not very sure because I forgot. Okay, so for my workflow, I like to level it first with a leveler. Then I just use a temper to just make sure it's flat. I don't actually press with this temper, and I do have another one that has the spring inside. So I can't remember what it's set to, but yeah. Okay, yeah, so this is the temper I have. It's a Joe Frex. So the interesting thing is there's a spring inside and you can set the amount of force. So you just set it, it's like a torque wrench. So it's set to about 12 now. Nice and ready, let's make the coffee. Okay, so my machine is pretty much stock except for I have changed the gasket to a silicone gasket instead of the rubber one. So this one lasts longer, and I've got the IMS shower screen. So I think the shower screen makes quite a bit of difference in the distribution of the water flow. You can see it's always a nice shower. So even if you reduce the flow, right, it's still quite even. So yeah, I like it. It's clean, very clean. Alright, so let's pull a shot. So I generally do a bit of pre-infusion with the pedal at maybe a third. So the pedal is maybe here. So this is full and this is off. So this is like a third. Then let's see what we get. So I generally just wait for first drip, then let about 2 grams come out, then I will ramp up the pressure. Pressure is coming up. Alright, I'll go full. So I'm aiming for 40 in this one. Okay, 41 in about 42 seconds. Okay, so this cup looks a bit messy because it obviously squirted a lot. So didn't really have very good results with this coffee. I think it's a bit over roasted. Anyway, yep, let's dump it out. So you can call me for having OCD, but I wash the portafilter every time I make a shot. Since I'm not in a cafe, so I have all the time in the world. Okay, so I'm just making one shot for today. Then we will flush it. So also sometimes it's good to just back flush the machine. So I use the other spare handle with the blind plate. And then I just like to back flush after I'm done for my coffee session. Okay, so top tip for cleaning your machine on the head. So I got this Espazzola thingy, so it just goes in. Then once the water starts to flow, you can just use it to scrub the head like this, and you are done. You just wash this. Okay, so now I'm gonna do milk. So this is the recommended milk if you're in Singapore. Please buy Meiji. Before you steam it, just purge it, get the water out. You will steam the milk. Too much air. So I'm using the nozzle with 2 holes. I tried the tip with 4 holes, but it steamed it way too fast. So I could also reduce the pressure of the boiler, I guess, but I think 2 holes and 1.5 bar seems to work quite well with this. But I guess it's something you just gotta get used to. But I'm definitely not used to using the commercial machines because those steam the milk super fast. So when you want to steam like 100 mils of milk, it does it in like 5 seconds. So since it's my own machine, I am very thorough with cleaning it, removing all the residue, purge it many times. It's good for the machine. Alright, let's enjoy our coffee. So for this one, it's a bit overly developed. I feel that the roast is quite dark. Even though this one seems to be a medium roast, but you can see some oils developing on the beans, so I think it's gone maybe second crack or slightly past. I am not very sure. But I guess this is the profile that most people like. I'm having it with milk, 100 mils of milk and 40 mils of coffee. So my ratio is quite strong. It's not your usual latte style. Yeah, but I think it goes well with milk. So I guess they intended the roast to be slightly darker because maybe more people prefer the more chocolatey kind of taste than the trend now, which is basically the very light roast and getting quite a bit of acidity in your milk drinks. But this is Nescafe, so I guess they need to go the safe route. So this is what everyone might feel okay. Some may like it, but I don't think anyone will say this is a bad cup of coffee. Whereas if you were too adventurous in your roasting, it's not developed enough, maybe opinions will be more skewed towards like, I really love it or I really hate it. So I think they're on the safe side, and yeah, it's decent. Okay, so what's next? So I've been having this coffee hobby since the COVID years. So since COVID, I've bought this machine. I've made thousands of shots on this already. I don't think I'm gonna change the machine out anytime soon because I can do whatever I want to do with it. I can pressure profile. Temperature is really stable. Only problem I have with it that it takes 20 minutes to start up in the morning. So I have it on a smart timer switch. So it just turns on the power 20 minutes before I want to use it, so it can stabilize. It does consume a bit more energy than the newer version, which starts up quicker. Yeah, but I don't think it's that significant. And so far it's been quite robust. Just have to maintain it by oiling the cam inside. So you can just remove the handle and just oil the cam. And yeah, back flush and just put a bit of chemical to wash it now and then. Other than that, for the grinder, because this is a espresso focused grinder, I may wish to buy the multi-purpose burst or the lap sweep burst. I'm not sure yet. Or maybe I'm going to try to buy the 80mm grinders or maybe even 100mm grinders, depending on what's out soon. But this is great for espresso. It gives great amount of body. Just you can't really do nice filters with it. You get a lot of body, but you don't get the clarity at all. So your initial fruity notes, a lot of it is not there with this burr lah. Yep, and otherwise I'm happy with whatever I've got. I just need to buy more coffee. So you can catch me and Sam heading out to the cafes, trying different coffees. So I'm definitely more of an espresso guy, milk-based drink guy than a filter guy. But I've been starting to brew my own V60s. That's why I've been quite keen to look out for other grinders. Yeah, so join us on our next adventure at another cafe in Singapore. And if you got any recommendations, anyone you need us to visit to try, yeah, please put it in the comments. And if you like this video, please give a thumbs up and share and like, and see you later. Bye bye.